Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Going into high school, I was getting ready to try out for the high school football team as a freshman. Now the coach that was the high school coach was the same coach that I had in 8th grade, and he knew I was good. But I was a little scrawny looking geek with big glasses. Yeah, go figure, right? Anyway, I show up and the other coaches are looking at me like, who is this skinny, bony little kid and why is he here? Sorry sir, the cross-country track team's over there or the swimming team's over there. I'm like, no, I'm here for football. The coach comes up and looks at me, looks at the other coaches and goes, don't let the glasses fool you. You know what? It's kind of like, don't judge a book by its cover, essentially. Don't let the glasses fool you. Well, guess what? Today we're going to check out a game, don't let the glasses fool you. Don't let the box fool you. Carcassonne. This is a timeless tale here. Now, don't judge it by a cover. I look at this big box and I look at it compared to all the other cool, amazing looking boxes that are out these days and I go, doesn't look that interesting. This is a great game. It's a 2 to 5 player. It's actually really best with 2 players. I play this game with my wife all the time. She loves it. It's a tile laying game. Essentially, you're picking up tiles blindly and you're picking them up and you're putting them down in a specific instance, kind of like making a puzzle. But you're laying these tiles down and you're building a city in France called Carcassonne. And it's just elegant and lovely and easy and a lot of fun. So let me show you how it's played and then I'll give you my final thoughts. In Carcassonne, you're building a city in Carcassonne, France, which is part of the medieval times that back over there. Now, how this game is played is its start tile always comes up. This is always a start tile because it's actually a opposite color than all of the other tiles that you can play. So the game starts with that tile up, and then there's some tiles all stacked or put in a bag, how I usually do it, so you can't see the tiles. And you randomly grab one and you pick it up and you figure out where to put it. Well, the first player, you can see that there's a road here and a road there, so they could put it there. They could also move it this way. They could put it like that, or they could put it like that. It's up to them. So it's kind of like putting together a piece of the puzzle. You could also do something like this, where there's field here and field there. So it's kind of like putting together a puzzle. So I'll put it here. Now, when you place a tile, you have the option to place one of your little guys, also known as meeples. You can place your meeple on that tile. In this case, the person places it on the road, and they're known as a thief. And so when this road gets closed, they're going to score some points. We'll show you a little bit about that in just a moment. So now it's the other team's turn, or the other player's turn, and they pull out a tile, and they pull out this tile. And you can see, wow, you could actually put a field there. I could do it here, but there's already sort of a castle here, so I'm going to start to build on that castle and see how I could put it. If I put it here, you have the walls of the castle here. If I put it here, the castle's going to kind of grow in that direction. So maybe I put it here. And again, I have the option anytime to put a person, assuming I have any left. You start with 7 of these guys. I'm going to place them here. In this case, he's in the castle and known as a knight. And I'll show you how these sort of score in a little bit. Essentially, to score, you either have to close the roads on both sides when you're on the road, or you have to completely close in the castle. So let's keep going around this and show you. So now it's the red team's turn, and they pull off a little rotary here. Now each one of these roads is a separate road because it stops in the city there. So I might play this here if I'm the red person. Now I've got some of this road closed. It stops here. So if I get another closure on this side, I'll be able to score 1 point for every tile that has a road as part of my road. So if I got another one that closed, like here, and then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you get to take your guy back, so you can score him later. So that would be 4 points for the red team if he closed the road. However, that did not happen. Now it's the black team's turn, and they pull this same tile, and they go, ooh, look, I can close my castle. And they do that. Now see how the castle's closed, and the way you score a castle is 2 points for every tile, the castle, and 2 additional points for any shield you see. So here we have 2, 4, 6, and then another 2, which is 8 total. 2, 4, 6, 8, because there's a shield, and then he gets to pull his guy off and he scores 8 points. So now it's the red team's turn, and he pulls this tile. Well, what's this tile? This is a special tile called a cloister. This is where the monks hang out. It's a church. So they get to play this anywhere they can. Now obviously I can't play it here because there's a road going and there's no road on this tile. So obviously I can't play it anywhere where there's roads. It has to mate up to a field. So I could put it here where there's a field, or I could put it here. And then I'm going to place my guy on the cloister, and they're known as monks. So this continues on, and so it alternates turns, the black guy and the red guy in this case. Now how you score the cloisters is you get 1 point for every tile that this touches. So if there's tiles surrounding this, there'd be 9 total tiles. There'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They could then take their guy off and score 9 total points, 1 for each tile surrounding the cloister and 1 there. So the cloisters, the roads, and the castles are 3 of the main ways you score in this game. I'll show you about an additional way a little bit later. So essentially this is how it's going to go, and we're going to show you a little bit here of what it looks like once the game's been played for a little bit. Okay, we have fast forwarded towards pretty much the end of the game, and the cool thing about this game is when you look at it, every time you play this game it's different because the tiles come out different and you're essentially building a different city every time, so that it'll always look different when you're done, which is really cool. This will have this little island over here, which is kind of cool, and then you have all these big castles here. So let's talk about scoring when the game's done. So if you remember, when you score a road, if you close off both sides of those roads, you get 1 point for every one. You get your guy back. At the end of the game, you still get 1 point, but for every tile it touches. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Red would get 5 points for this at the end of the game. Now over here we have a little score track. It goes from 0 to 50, and then once you get past 50, you flip them on their side so you know. So he got 5 points, so he went 5. The red guy has 1, 2, 3 points there for another road, so it'd be 1, 2, 3. Now the castle, instead of getting, when you close it, you get 2 points for every tile that is a castle and 2 points for the shield. When the game's over and you have not closed the castle, you get half that. You get 1 point. So you'd get 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th point for the shield there. So he'd get another 5 points. And let's see, the cloister, you'd get 1 point for every tile that touches it, including it. So you'd get 1, 2, 3. Anything that surrounds it in a sort of a box. So they'd get 3 points for that there. Now again, with the black guy, we'd get 1, 2 for the 2 pieces of the road. We'd get, since the castle is not closed, you get 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including the shields. So he'd move 7. And so now we're left with what's called farmers. This is a little bit of an interesting part here. When you're placing them down, this is the other way you can score. You put them down sideways to indicate that I'm not putting them on the road, I'm not putting them on the castle here, I'm putting them on the farm. And it's really cool when you look up here is for every closed castle that this farmer touches, he gets 3 points no matter the size of the castle. So here this farm's kind of small. It touches this castle but it's not closed, and he touches this castle and that's pretty much it. So he would get 3 points, but the farmers can be huge. Like look at this one up here. This one's not closed, but this one's closed, and this one's closed. And you can see that this farmer touches all that. So he would get 3, 6, 9 points. And so the red guy obviously won. And so when you look at the castles here, so you can see different fields. There's sort of like one here that's for these 2 castles and a separate field. So when you're setting up farmers, that's the other way you could do it. So let's take maybe a closer look at how this looks as you're building it here. So sort of starting in the middle of the city, you can just really take a look around and see how the city looks as it's being built. And this is sort of the end result of the city there. You can really see how fun and cool it is to sort of build the city and score points. And of course we have the score sheet at the end here. And that's how you play Carcassonne. Alright, well there you have Carcassonne. I love this game. It's easy to teach, it's great with 2 players, it's a good filler game, gateway game, whatever you want to call it. It's probably one of the best of those. Yeah, the artwork's not that great, and trying to coerce somebody to play it by, hey, let's play this game, it's Carcassonne. And they look at the box and they're like, no way, dude. But I usually say, hey, let's play a game where we actually like build a city, kind of together, but against each other. It's a lot of fun, it's beautiful, it's kind of like a puzzle. It's a lot of fun. That usually gets them to play it a lot more than, hey, check out this box. That looks kind of weird. Anyway, I love the game. I love laying the tiles. I love randomly picking them up. I love the replayability that every time you play this game, it's different. And your city is completely different. I love, as you get towards the end of the game, to stand up and look down at what you've built together, and it's just awesome. It's really cool how some games you'll have a bunch of these small little castles. Other games you'll have like these large ones. You'll have these streets that go in, circles. Some of them will go around. It's just really cool that every time you play this game, you're building the city of Carcassonne, and it looks different every time. I love that aspect of it. I love how it's kind of like a puzzle. You pick up a piece, does it go here? Nope. It could go there. Flipping around, could go there. Where do I put this one? It could go there. I love how it's kind of like a puzzle. It's easy to teach. It's best with 2 players. Now, I've played it with more, and it's okay. It's not a bad game, but you get less turns because obviously there's a finite amount of tiles. So with more players, you get less turns, which means you have to be a lot more strategic, and you got to be a lot better at it. So 2 players my favorite. I'll still play it with more, but 2 players really where this game shines. So it's easy to teach. The only problem I have with new people teaching this game is when you're trying to show them how to set up farms or the farmers. Even if you pull the directions out and you show them the 3 different farms that are shaded differently on the instructions, everyone always looks at that and goes, huh? Until the game's over, the first time they played it and you've shown them on the board what the farms look like, they're always confused. So if I'm ever playing this with someone that's never played before, I'll just use the knights and the thieves, and that's it. I won't even use farmers until the first game's over. When it's over, I'll show them what the farms are and how you can play them, and then we'll play again. Because that tends to be a pretty hiccup in the rules. Other than that, it's very easy to teach, quick to learn, and it's elegant. Love the puzzle, love building the city. It's a lot of fun. Check it out.